I think when we hit 1 million, that was when the gold plaque arrived in the office, and we all done almost like the Premier League trophy where we all took turns holding it up. I think I've got an Instagram post. I ran up the stairs with it, screaming it. If you're not creating an emotional response, you're not serving a purpose in your content. If you want to engage with a viewer, you have to make him feel something. Ultimately, it's a team that strive for always wanting to be better the next time out. And I think ultimately that's where we've got to where we are. And we still never put out a trailer that we're not proud of, which is the thing that I love the most. And it's quite rare to have those opportunities in life. And I'm very, very lucky that not only have I managed to find it, but I've got one of the best teams in the world to do it with.
And what makes you leave that kind of a background then, working on James Bond's, to go and work for the Diary of a CEO?
The honest answer was
Ant Smith, head of trailers, the Diary of a CEO podcast. What do you think makes the Diary of a CEO so successful? It's been there a while now.
Wow. What do I think makes...
We've only got 40 minutes, by the way.
My honest answer is going to sound so cliche.
Here he goes.
But
winding it up.
The honest truth is the team that we have with the Diary of a CEO team. When I came in, I was in awe of who was already on there, and considering when it all started, it was only a team of like 2 or 3 people, and you had Jack, Sophie, Dom, and Grace, and obviously Steve. And by the time I joined, there was a few others joining, and more, and the work ethic of that team was incredible. And I think ultimately the biggest lesson I took from it was this need to be 1% better every day, and to just strive to just keep improving and to just keep learning and keep failing. And I think that sort of methodology that we have has really propelled us, because it's from that we've figured out certain experiments that might work, or it might be from that where we try certain different things. Something sticks, something don't work, we quickly move on and we fail fast. Everything we succeed on, we then enhance it so we don't stay stagnant. So really the way we sort of seen it is, one, it's treated like a business at the end of the day, and 2 is we've worked really hard to build a community of people who want to come and see and listen to Diary of a CEO twice a week, which is a big ask for a lot of people. Not many people have 4 to 5 hours every week to listen to podcasts. So it's we're very honoured that we have that community who have stuck with us and keep growing with us. But yeah, ultimately it's a team that strive for always wanting to be better the next time out. And I think ultimately that's where we've got to where we are.
Was there a moment, or was there a show where you were like, oh, we've got something here? Because was there like an inflection point where you were like, okay, there's 4, 5, 6 of us, we're putting it out there, we're getting some good numbers, but then was there like a hockey stick moment, or one show where everyone's like, oh my God, what has happened here? The game just got changed.
I think there's sort of two examples for that. One from a trailer perspective and one from a show perspective. I think from the show perspective, this is going to sound really weird, but for me, when it really hit was when we hit the 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And that goal just always seemed doable, but it seemed like such a mountain. It's so big. Yeah. And now when we look back at it now, and we're at, I think, 6.5 million in half the amount of time or whatever, I think when we hit 1 million, that was when the gold plaque arrived in the office, and we all done almost like the Premier League trophy where we all took turns holding up. I think I've got an Instagram post. I ran up the stairs with it, screaming it. I think that moment, and then we threw a huge party, which was the doac rave, which was incredible. I think that's when it suddenly went, oh, okay. So there's that. And then I think for me, from a trailer perspective, I think it was when the team first went to LA and they got a guest on, Tim Grover, I believe it was, who was the coach with Kobe and Michael. And that was sort of the first time where I saw an opportunity to sort of do something a bit with a hook and make it with the B-roll and like bringing this black and white elements to it and this text. And then we released it, and then we started getting all these comments saying, oh my God, this is like a Netflix trailer. This is like a film trailer. And
I message you this every Monday and Thursday. I'm like, how do you keep doing this? It's unbelievable.
I mean, it takes a lot of energy and brain power, but somehow we still get there. And we still never put out a trailer that we're not proud of, which is the thing that I love the most. And I mean, it's on me. I never really take the time that I should to reflect and be like, okay, I've probably made about 230 odd trailers now. I've never actually taken a step back and gone, wow. And taking all the moments of like all the little things that I'm proud of. And I've done it recently with the Annie Jacobsen trailer, where she's talking about nuclear war and what would happen in the event of nuclear war. And I've just done a transition where we crash zoomed into Steve's eye, and then I turned the pupil into the globe of the Earth as a nuclear bomb hit, and you sort of see this flashing light.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Then I put some overlays in. That was one of the first times when I actually took a step back and said, wow, I'm actually really proud of my work here.
What's the ultimate goal that you're looking to achieve as a team with Diary of a CEO? Where do you think you can take it?
I honestly think there's no limit to where we can go. When we actually look at the trajectory of how far we've gone, it is insane. I think we might be one of the fastest growing podcast shows in the world. On YouTube, we just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think we're only really behind Joe Rogan in terms of like a podcast focused channel, and there's no limit to where we can go, because when you've got a leader in Steve who just he doesn't understand what the roof is. So because of that, he will keep pushing you to keep getting better and better and growing and growing and growing and growing. And then when you put that in with the team who have come on board and sort of see this mission and see how big we can actually get it, that's when you sort of realize that there is no limit here. And podcasting I still feel podcasting is still new as an industry. It's still like this sleeping giant that's ready to explode. And I honestly think the way we receive news will come from podcasts. The way we'll see entertainment will come from podcasts. The way we'll watch narratives and hear stories will come from podcasts. I genuinely think the podcast industry will only get bigger. I never in my wildest dreams knew I was going to become an editor, because I didn't know how to edit until like 8 years ago. And before that, I had no idea I'd work in film, because where I'm from and with my upbringing, that feels like a million miles away. That's either in America or in like, you have to have a lot of money, for example, to make it into this industry. So I never really thought about it that much, but it was only by me editing all the time, even spec work. I've done a lot of spec work, and I would just test different things out, and I would see how it made me react, and then I would play it to my family, I would play it to my friends, see how they react, keep trying. Like I said, the first trailer I'd done for Diary of a CEO was rubbish compared to the one that's going out tomorrow. And that the only reason why we got to that place is literally just trying something new every day, a little bit of a 1%. How can I make this project better?